lighter bike, so therefore a little bit more manoeuvrable in these conditions. 250, a little bit more power, but power's not everything when you haven't got big long straights or anything that can give a significant advantage such as that. So 125 and a 250, you'd probably have turned around and say people like James Scott might have been better off on a 125 than the choice of his 250. But James and Daniel White, they were our hot two from qualifying. They were the only two junior riders under the 52nd mark for a lap. We saw James do a 48.8 and it was Daniel at a 49.8, so very little to separate them as we go into racing. Anything can happen, one mistake can be so costly. So we're ready to go with our 3 motos for each of our 4 classes today, plus our 65 demos, so approximately 15 events. That's 1 down with 14 to go. Still fingers crossed for the weather to clear. All indications are that the rain radar, it is lessening today, but on the other hand, it would have only taken one really good downpour to have perhaps put turned it into a real swamp. So we've been pretty lucky, really. Always look at the positives. Huge thanks again to our sponsors, Any Lubricants, proudly distributed in New Zealand by Trans Diesel and Mainstream Logistics. There we go, the thunder that is racing, and off the line they go, all 12 of them. So looking to see how high will be off the line. James to take the advantage. 108 for James Scott through the big splash we go. 27 for Daniel. There he is back on the inside. Good work straight through those bumps and has it nailed. So comfortably there. 108, then go to 27. Looking back to 4 on 21. Wow, I tell you what, being caught up in that group, you get absolutely sprayed, but you really need to make the break, and that's what you're seeing from James here. Big, beautiful jump by the Opera pilot on his KTM New Zealand supported SX250F. 108, James Scott, 27, Daniel White. Looking back then to 47, sorry. Grayson Beach out there. As we look to the update, it will be... Then, in fact, Mitchell Stocker into 4th place. Go to Carlin Headley, 279. Ahead of Marshall Phillips, Callum Patterson, Toby Winiata. A great qualifier for Toby. He's back in 8th place. From Isaac Broad, Jacob Hunt, Leroy Gwynn and Liam Sullivan. The man from Winton making the line-up out there on the Winton motorcycle. Suzuki RMZ 250. Back the front we go. James from Daniel looking then out to our 3rd place with Grayson Beach, and then the 4th one for Mitchell. So Mitchell Stocker in now to 4th place. Quite decisive for the Stocker Solutions. Allen Custom Drills, Honey Grips, Unforeseen Decals, Backflips Clothing, Dyno Works supported by. You can listen to that from Mitchell. He's got the 2-stroke. Those first 3 riders on 4 strokes. He's the first one with the 2-stroke. Well, 108 and James Scott certainly has got this one in form. There we go, taking on this. So, whoa, there he is right off the track and comes back on the track. Lucky to have got away with that. Now watch him go over. So that's a double. See, that's 2. Then make it 4. Then make it 6. And the little one just at the end. Really still a 6-pack as we call it. But maybe an opportunity to close that gap down. 108 for James Scott. James Scott well in control at the moment. So James taking the lead. 27 for Daniel White, the man from Te Awamutu. 47 Dunedin's Grayson Beach alongside Mitchell Stocker, getting the push along now on the Yamaha. I tell you what, Mitchell won't have it his own way as we see that lightweight 125 of Marshall Phillips pushing Mitchell all the way. So look out for Marshall. Good fist of the South Islanders in our lineup today for National Supercross Glory. 2 North Islanders out in front, but then we go to 3 South Islanders in a row. 47 Grayson Beach from Dunedin. Oh, change there. In fact, Christchurch's Marshall Phillips has gone up on the Bob McCleary Yamaha into 4th place, and that puts Ashburton's Mitchell Stocker back into 5th place. So Mitchell will be disappointed, just getting his rhythm back again as we then go to Otrahonga's Carlin Headley, 279 through there, and then looking in behind Carlin on 279 to the Husqvarna of Toby Winiata. Then go to Callum Isaac, Jacob, Leroy and Liam. They will take the next lineup, but more importantly, in fact, for James out in front. So it's the James Scott show at this stage. He's just pulled up and lapped the 98 of Liam Sullivan. So good work now by James for first place, second here with the Kawasaki. Now look at this from Grayson Beach coming in on the tail of Daniel White. He's just been getting better and better, stronger and stronger as each lap rotates, and that means that he could come back, so watch out for that one. Interesting, his best last time at 49.6, and Marshall we had at a 50, and also Daniel at a 49.5, so pretty close together by times, not a lot to separate them, 27 to go. Hey, now one thing about catching up to the rider, but then trying to get past him with all the roost and all the mud to fly out there. Look at the front of some of these guys that have been playing in the trail, and there's an example. Tell you what, take a photo of Marshall Phillips out there, because he is absolutely showered in dirt right up the front, all up the front of his bike, up the front of his apparel, over the top of his helmet, and of course the big one is covering his goggles. So you'll often watch a rider putting their left hand up to the little pull cord on the roll-offs, and that gives them a clear bit of film in their goggles in front. So there we are, checkered flag time. Good stuff, checkered flag coming in there. So there's the 108. James Scott takes the win. Good work by James. Here we are with 27, and Daniel White, just when the pressure was on, he pulled out the stops and comes home for a very good second place. Daniel White, New Zealand junior cross-country champion, so well done. So trying to put Supercross to that, and motocross to do so well. 47, Grayson Beach gets the third place. Then we go to Marshall Phillips as a superb fourth for Marshall. And then we can spot the 98 in there, but that's one lap less for Liam. And there's now Mitchell Stocker to come through. So Mitchell will be in fifth place for Mitchell out of our very strong 12 rider field. And now looking up to Carlin Headley, he takes the sixth place, and then go back to Toby Winiata for the seventh, Scullin Patterson, Isaac Broad, Leroy Gwynn from Jacob Hunt, and Liam Sullivan making up our remaining 7 places in our lineup. So Junior 250 racing, as we call it, but in fact it is also, of course, for 125 and 250cc motorbikes. So good effort from our Super Junior riders, with a high attrition rate today, with other mechanical problems, riders taking the fall, those that have withdrawn in the conditions, very much a challenge for them. So next up will be what we call Junior Lights.